Hey, everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here and watching my video. And today, let's talk about a client of mine, super exciting success story where her SP conformed, changed from one version to another. And let's talk today about what I am seeing. A lot of people are causing a lot of problems for themselves with their mental diet. And let's actually get to some action items and how to do this, right? How to change someone from one version of the other, how to maintain your focus when you're triggered, and like what to do, what not to do. I'm going to do another video about that. Okay. So stay tuned. This is going to be a fun one. Lots of juicy tips about manifesting and how to tweak things so that they are in your favor. All right. Before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis are in the box below, as well as accessing all of my courses. Now, this client today that I'm going to be talking about, we did hypnosis for her to release a big thing, which she had identified before coaching. And we talked about, which was codependency in love and relationships, wanting to find her happiness in somebody else. We did hypnosis specifically on that. She said it was okay if I share that, even though obviously the success stories are always anonymous. And we did a lot of coaching. So she did both of those things. If you're curious about her exact process, that's what she did. Okay. Now, this is a really, really good success story because this client of mine suffered from a lot of, like I said, codependency, getting triggered by people in her environment, getting really, really, really thrown off track by her specific person, and not really being able to access a sense of self-happiness, self-acceptance, and self-value. And you guys, those things, like it or not, are necessary to your manifestation for two reasons. Number one, if you are living in the end of having what you want, then ideally, hopefully, I hope you would agree with me that you would be feeling a sense of happiness, contentment, joy, thriving, like balance, having thoughts of like things are working for me, life is working out for me, my life is moving forwards. You would not be hopefully sad, feeling alone, depressed, feeling really angry, really upset, right? So right away, if you're tending to do your manifesting and you're watching a bunch of things and you're doing your mental diet, but still thinking that your SP, who is an illusion in your reality, is meant to like complete you, and like when they conform and when this happens, then you'll be happy, you got to route it back to you. Okay. If you're putting it off, like when this happens over there, then I'm going to feel content. Stop doing that. I have no other way to say it besides stop doing that, because your happiness, your joy comes from you. It actually doesn't come from them. It actually doesn't come from the things that you buy. It actually doesn't come from like the handbag or the man purse, the merce that you buy. It doesn't, you guys. It all comes from you. It comes from your thoughts about you. We have been completely lied to and misled in our culture, thinking that things outside of us make us happy. Now, you probably heard a lot in self-help, but let's apply it to your manifesting with your thoughts, right? Route your focus back to you, especially this week. If you're watching this when it airs, route your focus back to you. Be asking yourself, how do I want that to be for me? I'm going to be that for myself. What do I want them to give me? I am going to give that to myself, because you guys, you got to have it to receive it. It's the way your reality is set up. Okay. Now, this client, like I had said, she had done a lot of content watching. She had been doing a lot of manifesting. It was also part of internet groups. Okay. Now, I am not part of internet manifestation groups. I might have been when I looked on Reddit like years ago, but I am not now. And you guys, you want to be really having a lot of discernment. If you are taking part in group activities about manifesting, you want to have discernment about everybody is projecting their own story and a lot of their own dysfunctional stories onto each other in these groups, telling each other what to do, yada, 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 yada. Get empowered, make your own decisions, focus on what you're focusing on, right? And get less information coming into your mind, because each of us are affected in different ways by our outer reality. We go into a whole other school of thought. A lot of these things put us into hypnosis. You're always in some kind of hypnotic state when you're awake. This is a whole other branch of study. I'm not trying to go off on a tangent here, okay? But don't get really hyper influenced by these things. If you're engaging in things, it's like if you're watching a movie, watching TV, if you see like disaster on the news, you want to say, that doesn't apply to me. I am healthy. I am thriving. My family is safe. Same thing with these groups. Don't get caught up on everyone's story. And please Do not take mental diet advice from people that are in these groups that can't even figure out their own stuff. Okay. I'm just saying, like, have discernment, right? Because people get thrown off track by the advice of others. This client did too. It just wasn't helping her. Now, if you're in a group and you have friends that are helping you and you've created that, I love it. That's amazing. But really focus on you. Take your focus back to you. Because oftentimes we are doing a lot of these things too because we think the answer lies in something or someone. Like my answer here in the video doesn't even lie in me, Alexis. It lies within you, your intake of the information and you changing your thoughts, your perspective, and your focus about you. Because today, the answer and the focus of this video is to get clear, decide, focus within, okay? Get clear, decide, focus within. Take out the people in your outer reality, including your specific person, and getting thwarted by what they're doing, what they're saying, how they're behaving, how they're acting. Now, the other thing I want to address is if they're saying something, doing something, and acting a certain way, you do not need to affirm for the opposite of every little thing. You actually do not want to be micromanaging, like micro-focusing on what your person is doing, because that also isn't you focusing on you, and that's you not you're not focusing on what you want when you're doing that, okay? That is why I'm talking today about codependency, over-focusing on other people, which we usually do as an imprint from a dysfunctional childhood where all the people around you didn't give you what you needed. So then you focused on them wanting what they weren't giving you. Okay, so then fast forward as an adult to conscious manifesting, you're like hyper-focusing on every little thing that they're saying and then wanting to do a bunch of affirmations against it. You don't have to do that. You do not have to do that to make this work. Like this client, get clear, decide, and focus within. Okay. Now, let me get to the success story so I can read it. Now, the title, the subject line of the success story is, I am so happy to say that my SP has conformed. Okay, so like this answers so many questions. I'm going to go over so many things about this client, but let's listen intently to what she wrote. Okay. Hi, Alexis, it's me. I am so happy to let you know the fantastic news that my SP has conformed. Exclamation point. After almost a year of this manifesting journey, I can honestly say that working with you was the ultimate game changer, and more than anything else, you gave me all the confidence I always needed in order to truly create my ultimate relationship. Just a story as part of my success story, my SP had told me that he didn't want a relationship, never wanted to get married, and that he never wanted to live with anyone. He basically told me he saw no future with us after months of hot and cold behavior, treating me poorly and giving me less than I thought I deserved. Now, I can honestly say that all of this, it was my self-concept. My concept of relationships in general, men in general, all of which created the whole thing. I also wanted to say there that I had watched a bunch of SP videos and I had been robotically affirming for what I wanted and getting nowhere, ... But after working with you and deciding what I wanted and therefore thinking it into existence, it all happened. It was not overnight and it was not instantaneous as many BS videos led me to believe it would be, LOL, but only when I got in control of my mind and my feelings and my love of myself did it change. You helped me with this, obviously. Okay, fast forward to now, my SP is bullet points to make it easier, she writes. Looking for a new apartment and wants us to live together. Insisted on meeting my family and wants us to develop a relationship with them before we get married, LOL. He stopped drinking and decided he is now sober. He worked every day since he was getting chubby. He calls me every day. He texts me almost nonstop. He told me he loves me and always says it now. Okay. So I wrote this success story for all the people out there who are struggling, doing a bunch of techniques and trying to make things happen. As you told me, it is less about trying and more about being, deciding, and living in the end of my desire. We all got this, you guys, and can't wait for my next session. This is in all caps. We all got this, you guys, and can't wait for my next session. Gonna manifest a boatload of blood next, exclamation point, lots of love, okay? So you guys, yeah, this is the thing. You do not need to do a bunch of things. And in my humble opinion about the robotically affirming thing, I don't do that. You could do that and it might work because your thoughts are things and your thoughts create. But like, my question is this, do you really want to have to robotically affirm for everything always? Like, were we even designed to create our reality that way? I'm not really sure. Like, if the thing is this that I want to address is what are the rules and what are the thoughts that you're having about your thoughts now that you've come to conscious manifesting? Have you put rules in place for how you do this whole create your reality thing, right? The thing is this, how you decide it goes and how you decide creates also creates your reality. Isn't that bonkers, you guys? But it's true. Your beliefs and your assumptions about the law of assumption are part of how you're manifesting. So I would just say, be careful. Why would you want to robotically affirm for everything always? Because this is the thing. Once you manifest them back, or like this client, you get in the relationship, you're not going to want to stop creating. You are created to create. You and I were created by our creator to create our realities. So like, if you're agreeing to robotically affirm for things, like you're going to kind of tell your mind, you have to always do that. So I don't know about you, but like I have a new desire weekly. Sometimes I have new things I want to manifest like on a daily basis. Alexis, now again, it's up to you. And I'm not trying to criticize anyone's manifestation practice, but like for me, I'm not going to agree to robotically affirm for anything, because then that's how I'm going to agree to always do it. Okay. Because you're always creating an assumption. You're always creating a belief system about how you do this whole thing. You can just as easily decide, focus, and think that no one else matters besides you and that you already have your desire. I think that's much easier. Now, I am pretty logical. I'm pretty pragmatic. And I'll usually want to, especially now having Logan, who's my little baby, and being married, like I'm usually pretty focused on my regular life when I'm out doing things, right? So I don't want to have to be doing a bunch of things to make something happen. I want to think, I desire this. I want this. This is a desire. So guess what? Because it's a desire, I already have it. Because I want the commitment, we're already in the relationship. Because I want to get married, I'm already married. Now, like this client, right? We made it very workable for where she was in her journey. She wasn't living in the end of marriage at first. She was living in at the end of the commitment of it working, and then the expectation that it would lead to marriage. So the other thing that you could do with this is get really clear, you guys. Get clear and decide and focus on what are you allowing in here. Where boundaries exist in here, meaning your space within your imagination, your inner mind, your inner self. So it always comes back to you. Really, like what's so crazy, right, is it has nothing to do with anybody else. It has everything to do with you and your thoughts about it, and like what you're saying, what you're thinking about what's going on. So the other thing, like I had said earlier in the video, is you do not need to micromanage all of your affirmations and change everything about yourself and change everything about them or about the SP. In this case, it was a he. Okay. What you do want to do is like also not make it so much about you, not take it personally, not allow the outer circumstances with them to throw you off track of the station, right? So like her. And this happened in different areas, like in my situation now with previous specific people, when you're thinking of like, oh yeah, we're getting married, we're married, etc. And then they say, I'm not sure if I'm ready to get married. Okay. You just say, oh, okay. Okay, great. Maybe like you're going to be sure tomorrow, or you don't react to it. You don't allow it to thwart what you're focusing on. And like, I don't know about you guys, but like I often say things I don't mean. I often say things that are out of like, we all get angry, frustrated, sad, questioning, doubting, we're not ready, right? So like you don't need to take everything that everyone says seriously, pick it apart, affirm against it, and have this whole boatload of intentions. You, my loves, need to decide and focus and refocus and maintain the focus when it looks like it's not going your way. Okay. Also, like if you've had someone that's been separate from your 3D reality and now you've manifested them back, just get ready that now all the stories that you hadn't yet focused on are going to come to the surface. Okay. This whole like instantaneous manifestation, it happens overnight. It happens right away. It really doesn't work like that for most people in their realities. Now, back to rules of manifesting. Am I creating a rule as I say that? I don't know. Like, it's just what I've seen with people, that this whole game of life, right? It's a journey. It's evolvement. It's a journey. It's evolvement. And like, if everything had to happen instantaneously, then when I was thinking about like, I was thinking about dinner, I was thinking, okay, do I want to make something that's like Chinese? Do I want to make something that's like Italian? Do I want to order something Chinese? Do I want to order something Italian? So like I went on Postmates, like a lot of us do. And I was looking at all these options. I was Chinese, Italian, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Thai, I think, was one of them. What else? It was a lot of Italian food. I've been eating so much Italian food. It's crazy. Okay. I am part Italian. Did you guys know that? Fun fact. Anyways, like the foods, the different kind of Italian foods, and I was having thoughts about them all. They didn't show up, right? It does take momentum and focus for things to show up. Now, I do remember that there was one time, speaking of food, where I was heavily intently in my previous life as a fitness owner and instructor of a fitness studio. I was focusing on having treats for my clients and having things show up like food wise, like goodies and stuff. And it was a time when I was eating a lot of Lara bars, if you guys know what those are. I kid you not, that because I focused on it like multiple times, and I was eating Lara bars every day, that a box of Lara bars showed up to my studio as a gift. Okay. So like, look at that. It wasn't instantaneous. It didn't happen just like one thought. And I didn't even get specific about it being a box of Lara bars. It was the repetitive focus, the repetitive imprinting, if you will, of the focus of that specific thing. Okay. So you guys really want to learn to get out of your own way. Okay. To take things less personally. When your SP says something that like is the old story, like this client, she heard, I don't want to be with you. I don't want a commitment. I don't want marriage, or we're not going anywhere. And it flipped to the other because she didn't allow herself to get triggered for too long and to focus intently on what he was saying that she didn't want, right? She stuck through the course. Like she stuck through the time where you're going through the fire. Like I've said in so many videos, this whole manifesting a specific person thing, it really isn't for the faint of heart, because it will bring to the surface your old assumptions, your old story about love, relationships, connection. It brings up all your family stuff, like it or not. It comes up because it's in your unconscious mind, right? But you can move through it, and you can learn to stay on your own story no matter what. So, okay, I'm looking back at my notes. Get clear, decide, focus within. That was the main point of today, to focus on that. Oh, and the other thing is like I said in the beginning of the video, if you had what you want, you would be content, you would be happy, you would be fulfilled. Go out and like, you guys, make that for yourselves. Don't think that your specific person's job is to make you happy because you're manifesting them. Like, why would you want to do that? Right? I mean, like, I'm married and like, I love my husband, I love my son, but like, they're not in charge of me being happy. Like my happiness comes from my choices, my perspective, my outlook. The moment that you think that other people have the key and they hold on to all of the components of your happiness, like then you're looking to them for too much. Then you're micromanaging your thoughts about them. Then you're over focused. And then it's like, however you are is how I'm being. Now, your reality is a mere reflection of you, but let's tweak it and have you be happy, you be content, you be satisfied now. So do things for yourself. Ask yourself, like, what do I actually need today? What am I actually wanting? How do I feel about me? How am I treating me, right? That comes back to your self-concept of you and how you're focusing on yourself. So like I told her, hey, your happiness does not come from him. We got to detach, meaning energetically not focusing so much on him, right? Again, we have been led to believe that things outside of us make us happy. Things outside of you can give you a sense of like, oh, I love that. That's so amazing. Like, this is a new sweater for fall. I bought it. It's great. Okay. But it's not making me happy. I'm already happy, content, satisfied, in control of my thoughts, stable, secure. I have that. It's mine. You deserve it. It's your birthright. You came here into your physical body to reclaim creating your reality, being in control of your thinking, and understanding that your reality is you pushed out. It's a projection of you, and you, my loves, are the center of your movie. Okay. So I'm going to leave you with that. Let's get clear, decide, focus within. You got this. It's way easier than you think, right? If you are manifesting for commitment, be in the commitment now. Take the outer reality out of it. If you're manifesting for marriage, be married now. Just do it. Take out all the outer noise, right? You can have that. You can be it. You can do it. You can create it within. That's all that it is. Okay. I'm sending you guys a lot of love. I love you all. Big hugs. Go out and make it awesome. And let's have a great, end of the year, moving into the fall season. Thinking of you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.